I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
That's Lavi.
And Salty and Chip.
Another Patreon pick.
Yes, because we skipped a week accidentally.
You don't need to justify yourself to anyone.
I just want people to know, we don't have 1,000 comments saying, "Bleh." Of course, you didn't notice when they got skipped. And there was no outrage then.
Right. There was
Heaven
no,
forbid.
hey, what about those poor people on
what
Patreon?
about those Patreons that are supporting your asses?
they didn't get their song reviewed.
Make sure you do that for them.
Yeah. So this is a Patreon pick. This is by the This is a Sinning Glory group.
Yeah, here we go. This is what they look like. You want to find them on Facebook and join up in an alliance. That's where to go.
We have.
Look at these ginormous Swedish fish that Vin got. Okay, they don't even look that big on here.
Shout out to Sweden. Shout out to Sweden for the fish.
It's huge.
Shout out to Sweden for the fish. We appreciate y'all.
You know what? We gotta do that Christmas in September.
There's a lot of
Somebody was like, I hope that
life is unraveling.
Somebody said I've sent it all the way from, I don't remember, Finland or something like that, and they were like, hopefully the edible stuff is not gone bad. I'm like, are you serious?
If it's chocolate, don't worry. Vin.
It doesn't matter how melted it is. Vin will eat it.
I love chocolate. Nom.
I have to be in a very particular mood to want chocolate.
So
all the time.
Yeah, and speaking of Patreon, we're gonna have a real because I know I saw a couple. I don't handle Patreon. Sori handles Patreon, but I saw a couple comments on the Patreon site where it's like, how do I join an alliance? How the hell do we do this? How do we set up an alliance?
Yeah.
There's a new one that's getting set up right now called the Core Goddess site or whatever.
Yep.
And that's
Pony's
from
heading up that one, right?
Pony, which Pony does a lot of our art, and Pony also takes care of our podcasting. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot of stuff coming down the way.
What's the genre of her group?
I don't know what her genre is. Just look for Pony. Facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's going to be a video coming soon, but if you want to get to her before that video starts, it's Facebook.com/Vin and Sori, and just look for Pony. You'll find her. Or message me and I'll hook you up with Pony. All right. So this is Anesthesia, typo negative.
Yeah.
It should be interesting.
I like
We just did a typo song recently and got another one.
I know. I'm glad.
And I didn't know typo was this popular of a band. All right, let's do it. Go!
Okay. No, I say when we go.
Go!
Nope. Go.
Go!
You tried.
Thanks for listening to me. Rewind it. You had it on mute.
I mean, it was for like 1 second, babe. Let's start over. Let's do this again. Go.
Go!
You tried.
Like a flash of light in an endless night, life is trapped between two black entities.
Good job, Typo. I like them.
I didn't know that guy could sing like that.
Yeah, he's good. You know, the first time I heard a Typo song, wasn't it like Christian Woman?
Forgive all.
Yeah, Forgive All.
Forgive all.
I don't think that I...
Forgive all.
Look at you in your eyes! You know what he does? Before we start recording, he'll go like this. And then he opens his eyes to like wake himself up, get ready to do what we gotta do. It's so cute. Anyway, yeah. I think that the first time that I heard him, I don't remember what I gave for that song. Like, I don't know how I reviewed that one. But I don't think that I, like, the vocals, I'm not sure. But, like, now, I'm like, it's a unique sound. Like, we haven't heard anybody like him. And I was thinking he's kind of one of those people that, I don't know if you could, you know, replace him. I think he is the sound of Type O.
Yeah.
And that was really unique. Like, I really liked what he did when he went, like, really, like, up like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he did really good.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I
name
wish
of,
I could see it live.
You can't. He's with the Ain't Soap now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You already told me this, didn't you?
I did.
Damn it! That makes me so mad!
I guess he made his peace with God, so he's good.
Well, we're not. I wanted to see him alive.
You want to take him from a place of peace to back to this realm of misery?
Oh, yes.
Just so that you
absolutely.
can see him live. Astaghfirullah.
No.
You are
Well, I'm gonna have to watch one of his live
selfish
videos. How
woman.
old was he?
I don't know.
Doesn't he seem like he's young?
Yeah, he died young. He was like 6'7". He's a big dude. Big dude, big homie.
That's too bad.
Yeah, he this is some good shit. This is shit I'm gonna
I
listen
didn't
to.
think that you liked it. I'm so surprised you like it.
No, this is shit I'll listen to like outside of the channel.
Yeah, oh, me too.
There's a lot of songs where it's just like,
Yeah.
There's only a select few that make
Yep.
it to the shower.
Yeah.
So this is definitely this is a shower song for sure. For sure.
Yep.
Him and Floor.
Yep, I know. I'm glad that finally someone else is gonna creep in on that floor
Are
time.
she jealous of Floor? Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, I really liked it. I always well, I guess we're talking about love, right?
Yeah.
And losing and how things go. When he says, I mean, we can start from the top, but when he got to the part where he was saying, I don't need love, I don't need love.
Yeah.
Like, well, I always thought it's better to be there, to not need love and to not need somebody else. Because the minute you need somebody else, then you are now vulnerable.
That's a very interesting perspective.
What? Well, you've never thought of that?
Well, I just, I mean, I guess that's a truism to some degree. I didn't think about it that way. It's pretty.
I've thought about it so many times. And even, like, in my past relationships, I was always, like, I, like, needed the person and I needed love. But it's not like with you. Like, I don't know.
What do you mean?
Like, with past relationships, like, I kind of, like, I needed them. But, like, I kept myself at, like, a certain place so that way it wouldn't be, I don't want to need them too much just in case something happens. But I didn't even necessarily realize that I was doing that. But, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that you don't allow those kind of borders. Not that you say anything, but, like, just, like, internally, like, I feel like that those walls I can't keep up. And that bothers me because I don't feel safe in that environment. Because it's very vulnerable. And I do need you. And I don't really like that I need you as much as I do. And I rely on you. And I don't usually rely on people because I rather, like, rely on myself and be good because and the thing is, like, if you fail yourself, well, you gotta get past it. It's yourself. Somebody else fails you, it's like, hey, that person, I can't believe they did that to me. So, like, with you, it's more like, I don't know. Like,
I don't think I'm gonna come to my life because I've loved people very deeply who have didn't work out for whatever reason. But I don't think I'm gonna get to the end of my life and be like, I wish I would have been more reserved and closed off with my heart.
No, at the end of your life, sure. But in the middle of it, when you're feeling it, it's like...
Well, it's like Jonathan Edwards said in his resolutions, I often hear older persons say what they should have liked to have done when they were younger. Mm-hmm. And then he says, resolve to live in such a way as to never be able to say that when it's time for me to die.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my resolutions is a lot of like the decisions I make go into when I'm going to die and leave this earth, what am I going to regret or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so if, so it's like I had you and I said to myself, all right, you got one more shot with Sori because that's as much as I could do as far as like that or, off to the monastery. Like, that was pretty much it. And you know that was pretty much it. So, like, I obviously don't regret that choice in loving you as much as I do. I just think, but see, the thing is, like, there's never been a conscious moment in my life when things were, I came into consciousness around, 3-4 years old. My mom wasn't there. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. I've never really like been in a situation where things have been functional and whatever. So it always confuses me when people choose safety over pain.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Think about that sentence.
No, it's strange to me.
How in the world? Babe, that doesn't even, how? I can't even process that.
Well, what do you mean?
It's confusing to you when somebody chooses safety over pain?
Well, yeah, because that's all I've known is like, fucked up situations or whatever. So it's like, it's inevitable. Like, you're gonna, if you live in a sinful world, you're gonna deal with pain. So if like pain avoidance is your top priority, then in my mind, like, you can't really live.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
So it's like so it's strange to me. It's like people have these convictions, like they're really convicted about something, and then they don't do it because they're afraid of something. I'm like, okay.
Yep.
So like I don't understand that. It's like your entire life is constructed around pain avoidance instead of actually living and.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
I don't know. I'm actually perplexed at your response. I don't understand that.
Well, most people want to be safe.
I know. Isn't that what I said?
Yes, but when you're saying that it's like perplexing, is that what you said?
Well, yeah, it's...
That somebody would choose safety over pain. Like, I think the majority of like the world is going to be like, what the heck is he talking about?
Yeah, I don't think the majority of the world. No, I don't think that people grew up the way that you did.
So you think most people are like, okay, I have two choices. I can be safe or I can be in pain. Oh, that's easy. Pain.
No, I'm talking about using, safety being the impediment to being in love, or, following your convictions, or the things.
I definitely want to hear from some people.
The things that really, really, really matter to you, and you don't do it because you're worried about some sort of pain.
Yeah.
Like, that's strange. I don't understand that. So it's weird to me.
And it's totally bizarre to me that you think the other way. Like, I'm definitely like, if there's a choice between safety and pain, I want safety. Like 10 times out of 10 probably. There might be some rare occasion that I would choose pain over safety, but I like feeling safe.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to say 9 times out of 10 because I don't feel like that you're a safe person. You seem like a loose cannon to me.
I get that a lot. People say that a lot.
But not like that you would, abuse me or anything like that. But just that you are a free thinker, and your free thinking could take you anywhere. But I took the chance with you. I was like, well,
yeah, we were having that discussion with that person, and I'm like, no, we're not going to be here in 5 years. I don't know. It's probably unlikely.
Yeah, I know.
And they were freaking out.
And that person was freaking out, and I was like sitting there too, and I kind of felt like grabbing my heart too because I was like, no, I already knew this information, but.
Well, yeah. So in this particular song, I guess he lost somebody.
Yeah, and then.
But see, I've lost somebody that I invested my whole soul into, and I didn't say I should have never did this, or that never popped into my mind. Oh, I'd rather not. You know what was really instrumental to me when I read this book in the 8th grade called The Giver? And it's basically this dystopian sci-fi world where people had figured out how to take all pain from the world, basically. But it was compiled onto this one person.
Yeah, I saw the movie.
Yeah, well, the movie is nothing like the book. And then every generation there's another giver who takes all the pain from people. And the moral of the story was, if you could construct such a world, it's one of the worst of all possible worlds to live in. Because the universe is ordered in such a way that if you take away the thorns and you don't have the rose, and are you going to say that reaching through the thorn bush to get the rose isn't worth the blood on your... I just don't understand that mentality. So it's interesting because I was talking to my daughter because we were having one of our philosophical discussions, and she said, the whole better to love than loss and not love at all, and she's like, nope, not love at all, But she was kind of born into chaos too, but
That's weird. You guys had the exact same conversation.
Yeah. It was 2 days after you had the conversation with her. But she was kind of born into chaos too. She just didn't know it. She didn't know it. She didn't know the full breadth of how chaotic her life really was until 2 or 3 years ago. Whereas with me, I was born into it, and I knew intuitively. Well, everybody else has a mom. I don't. Okay. Usually it's the dad that leaves initially, right?
Yeah.
So, I knew that, and then the way that my dad would talk about my mom and whatever, and anytime my mom would come up the room, the temperature in the room would drop.
Yeah.
So I knew that we were in a bad situation, So I think when you're just born into that and you just assume it, I don't assume I'm ever going to have a day or a week without some sort of, issue or whatever. And and I'm not talking about just somebody broke up with you. I'm talking about somebody, fucking left the planet. Which is the ultimate form of abandonment, right? And you never regret loving those people.
Yeah, I can see that.
If I could not feel the pain of the loss of those people, but
still love them.
Then not love them.
Oh,
I wouldn't choose that.
Yeah.
And it's weird to me that people are saying, "Oh yeah, I would choose that." What?
Oh. Yeah, that is weird to me.
Well, that's essentially what people are saying.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that.
Or like your convictions. We have certain convictions.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to hide from them because we're afraid of, whatever type of pain that society is going to put on you or whatever. Like when you're a person who's not afraid of pain, you're extremely dangerous. You're a very, very dangerous person.
Yeah,
Because those are a lot of the controls that society has on you.
I would say, like, I agree with you. Reaching into the thorn bush to grab the thorn and getting your hand, whatever, like, that's worth it. I just don't want to die in the thorn bush. I'm not gonna go in where there's poison thorns to grab some rose. Like, that's too much. Like, there's lines.
Yeah.
How far.
Yeah.
I feel like
I
if
guess.
you want that rose, you're going in poison or no poison. And I'm not like that. I'm like...
Yeah, but I don't have a lot of roses in my mind. There's only 2 or 3 of them. So, like a flash of light in an endless night, life is trapped between 2 black entities. That's smart.
Oh, my word, yeah.
That's smart lyric. That's smart lyric writing here. God Almighty, what a depressed... good Lord.
Life is trapped.
Between two black entities. Yeah. Well, I hear people say, like, when I die, I'm just going to go back to the state I was before I was born. Of course, I don't believe that. You won't.
Well,
but
I don't know. I think that we were with God even before we were born.
What they mean is that you weren't conscious and it was just infinite black. That's what they think. And then you popped into consciousness. And you're gonna go back into infinite black. So
I don't think so either.
But that's what what I'm saying. Like that's what they think.
Right. Yeah.
And I obviously don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as what you were doing before you were here, I don't know. Talk to the Mormons. But they have a very interesting. But a lot of that stuff was speculated on in the early church, like premortal existence or whatever. Mm-hmm. But that's a very, very interesting way to look at the world. But right from the, like when people say, this doesn't need to nihilism. Well, he's not saying what his ultimate worldview is, but this is definitely the consequence of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a very nihilistic way of looking at the world. And if that's your starting point, then you're not going to be able to put any real redemptive context around a broken heart.
No.
Because when you trust someone, illusion has begun. Nowhere to prepare, impending despair.
No way to prepare, impending. That's so terrible. It's basically saying the minute you trust somebody, it's already over. You're already being sucked into some delusion, and it's going to inevitably end in despair. So.
Yeah, but I think you can trust somebody and know human frailty simultaneously. Yeah. But that's why I always say, like, me and you have conversations, I always say, like, you got to go into the relationship clear-eyed. Most people are not going to surprise you. Like, I have a certain katina of actions that would be hurtful to you and to us. And if you saw me doing them, you'd say, well, that's Vin. Whatever. And there's certain things that you would do that I would say, well, that's her. Like, people generally don't really deviate from who they are, whether it's their strengths or their weaknesses. Mm-hmm. So I trust you. I have a whole bunch of trust in you, but I also know that you're a frailty. I know the areas where you're weak. I know when, things are going to happen or your mind's going to go whatever. Like, I know. Mm-hmm. So and you know mine. Like, I don't think there's anything that we've done, either one of us, where I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Or even in your previous relationship.
No, I don't think that I know you because, like, what my sin issues are. I really don't know what yours are.
Sure you do. I've told you.
Because I always don't count that. It's always...
Okay.
You know what? Honestly, even though, actually, according to the Bible, yours is worse than mine, like, it's still weird to me because I feel like, for me, what?
Go ahead.
I feel like that, you've said it on the channel before. Yours is your propensity toward violence.
Yeah.
So, and I feel
they
that's...
They were bad people, so it's okay.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, it's not as big of a deal to me. It's like if somebody was like, one person's walking around saying fuck, and then you just said heck, and you're like, I should have said hey, I should not have said it. It's so weird, but that's how I feel about, like, now if you acted on your violent tendencies, then that would be different. But like, I feel like if I have a sinful thought, or if you have a sinful thought, mine's way worse than yours.
Well, you seen me come close to act on my violent tendencies.
Yes, I have, but you didn't, babe.
You were okay. Well, even if I did, I think you'd be okay.
No,
with it, 'cause
I
they were
wouldn't
bad people.
have. How the fuck could you have known that?
Because when I felt bad about it, you were like, well, good, that's what he gets.
Oh, you mean the ones in the parking lot?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the other time.
What other time?
You were like, I don't want to talk about that. You were
Oh,
like,
we were at the hotel with that guy, with the other guy? Yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, I don't think you'd have been okay with that.
No, I wouldn't have been okay with that. But yeah, you're right. The other one, the guy's being, whatever toward that girl, and he gets a little bit of, yeah, I'm fine.
He was talking all reckless.
Yeah.
So, but
And I'm sure he was, pushing her into the car a little bit there, didn't he?
yeah.
So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, I feel like, okay, well, you got it coming to you, buddy, and I don't feel bad for you at all. So, I mean, I wouldn't want you to smash his face against a tar or anything like that, but a little bit of roughing him up so he can see, like, don't treat people like that.
Well,
But again,
I'm just talking like I'm talking about like things that would affect our relationship, because it wouldn't affect our relationship either way. Even if I did something to the other guy at the hotel, it wouldn't affect our relationship. You would be like, you shouldn't do that. You got to work on that. Blah blah blah. But I don't think you would be like, this is a betrayal of me.
No.
But or like you would be like, I can't believe you did this to me. Whereas there are things like when I withdraw, or if I get or if I get very very quiet. That's what I'm saying. It's not necessarily sinfulness. I just mean weakness, like just the frailty of being with a person, like
Yeah.
to know that the other. Because I don't see your other issues as being frail. A lot of shit you can't control. You don't control. You know what I'm talking about. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of recognizing like you can trust another person. It's just you have to be realistic about their weaknesses.
Yeah.
And then you have to measure whether or not you want to like commit yourself to them. Like, you were talking about in your other relationship, I can't believe he did this to me, yada yada yada. And then we looked at your journals and like it was all there, like before you even got together with the guy, like it was all there. So it's
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I always had this weird thing though about like not actually saying, like being completely honest with the situation, which is weird because I grew up in a Christian home, and so you would think that honesty would be the best policy. And I'm not even blaming my parents for that mindset. I have no clue where I got that from. But lie to myself from, start to finish. So, and it's weird because I didn't really have like that. Like every
But
person's
you
a
were
sinner.
pretty-
Like I need to know this person is a sinner. This is an issue, and this could,
You were pretty honest about it though.
in my journal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
not like
that
you-
was,
you weren't-
but that
you
was
weren't
not
lying
my
to yourself in your journal.
my reality. My journal reality was different than my outside reality. When I did journal time,
Right.
that was different
Right.
than when I did
You're
everything
actually
else.
being honest. Yeah.
Take that mask off. Now put it back on and go back into the world. It was like that, which is weird. But like, I just think that I should have just been like, okay, you obviously have flaws and issues, and you're a sinner just the same as me. So let's just put it on the table and figure out what we got here. What's something that could be a problem? What's a potential, whatever.
Right.
But no, you're right, because I did know, and that's why I said what I said. That's why I said, if X thing ever happens,
Right.
I'm not staying.
Right.
So I guess, yeah. So I guess I did. It's not like I was completely walking around.
But that's what I say. Like nobody generally surprises anybody else, especially in a
I was
relationship.
talking to somebody the other day, and they said no, that they were genuinely surprised by how somebody turned out.
That they were in a relationship with.
Yep. They
Who?
married the person. Said she just had no idea.
Yeah, but I think in that situation it's actually reversed. So, like, I don't think that person could sing this song. I think the other person could sing this song,
Yeah.
and I would go to that other person and say, "Look, you knew it from the beginning."
Yeah.
So that's what I mean.
Yeah, the other person, yeah.
So
It was so weird because when the person was saying, no, like I really didn't know, I was like, well, I said, this is so dumb. I said, well, Vin was saying that everybody knows. And then, and then I was like, well, I mean,
Hi.
and then I just like tried to move forward because I was like, sometimes when you say something, I'm like, you must be lying because Vin said something else. And then I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm looking really weird right now.
emotionally stunned. In defense, I'm numb. I'd rather not care than to be aware. See, this thing, like, this sort of reactionary, I'm gonna numb myself to emotion thing is very strange to me.
You never did that?
People
You
think
did. You told me you did.
People think I do that. That's not what happens.
You told me that you did.
Well, as a kid or when I was in certain situations?
When you were in certain situations.
Okay, he's talking about relationships. I'm talking
Yeah,
about...
but you were saying, like, you didn't want to, like, you want to make sure that you never did that with me.
Did what?
Like, got, like, numb.
Oh. Well, no, I didn't use the word numb.
What did you use?
We're being intentionally vague here to protect the guilty.
Yeah.
We'll have that conversation offline. But like, so like there are some people in my life, or a lot of people in my life, I guess, or you could say that like the minute that something happens, like that's it, they're out.
Yeah.
I'll never talk to you ever again. That's it.
Yeah, I know.
And like people think that, you know, it's not that I'm numb to the person. I love them. You know, it's just that I also know that if a person's a certain type of way in a conflict, or when there's a certain level of heat in the situation, then, you know, because you only have so much time in your life. So it's like that, you know, and we've had this conversation, and I don't even know if I'm right or wrong. It's just like, why am I gonna waste time with a person who clearly, you know, they're not at that level of the friendship or the relationship or whatever. So why would I waste time talking to them as if they didn't just demonstrate that they're not at that level? But see, most of the time when I'm in a relationship with somebody, like I watch them and I go, okay, here. You know, and it's very rare that a person like doesn't do what I think they're gonna do. So then it's like, okay, well, you did.
That's creepy, man.
Okay, well, you did the thing. We were friends for X. We enjoyed it. You did the thing. All right, it's time to move on. Like, I don't understand the, oh my gosh, ah. It's like, and after something like this happens, like the relationship's never going to be the same anyway.
Yeah.
But you're going to pretend like it's the same.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I remember you used
like-
to say, like, back, like, years ago when we were just friends, and you'd be like, oh, like, you told me, like, that you could, you know, cut somebody off. And when you told me that, I thought he could never do that with me. Because I thought that we were, like, deep enough friends where, you know,
Yeah.
that would never happen. Now, I look back, and I'm like, nope, you could have done that.
No, I couldn't have done with you.
What do you mean? Well, that's because you told yourself, I'm never going to do that. But if you didn't tell yourself that, it could have happened.
Sure.
Yeah, I just, like, I think I bought into the, like, I thought that, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
But I don't think, but it's like Michael Jordan, like, he retired. He hit this game-winning shot, he retired.
yeah.
And instead of saying, all right, it's over, he went back again, and then the career, it was just ugh.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about relationships. Like, you have a good chunk with the person.
Yeah. I've
Like,
done that a bunch of
and
times.
then once the thing is over, it's done. Like, don't go back to the Wizards.
And
like,
when you try to go back, it's just...
it's done.
it-
Like, it's done.
and you know what? Honestly, when it's done, and you try to go back, you do like one or two of those, and you stop.
Yeah.
And then that really kills it, because now you have like that, the last memory was like that.
Right. I'd rather the last memory, we had fun,
Yep.
then,
Yep.
you know, the thing happened. Well, okay, like, you're out. See ya.
You're out.
Well, no, I'm out too. Like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
You know? But to me, like, that's a lot more healthy, because I still care about the person, still love them. If somebody was attacking them in the street, I'd get busy. Like, it's not like I'm like,
Yeah,
you're dead to
no,
me, I hate
yeah.
you, da-da-da-da. It's just like, I have no interest in talking to you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And the others, you know, so it's like,
I always felt like...
I don't think you need to numb yourself in order to move past, you know, people who are not going to, you know, be in your life. You don't have to numb yourself. You can just, like, suspend, you know, it was great over there,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like,
I see what you're saying. It's a very difficult thing to do. Like, numbing is so much faster and easier. But it doesn't help you in the long run, you know, I know that. Excuse me. I mean, I know that in the long run it's not good for you. It's not healthy, and it's a terrible option, but
yeah, and then, you know, it's like, world-renowned failure at both death and life. That's very interesting, because, like, that's a thing. when I was in the mental hospital. Like, you
Yeah.
know, a bunch of people like attempt suicide. Some people do it because they're trying to get attention, but some people really like.
I know.
They thought they were gonna cut the mustard, as it were, and like you wake up. Or you thought
They
you were
thought
gonna
they were gonna die.
Yeah, you really thought it wasn't attention. Like
Yeah.
you thought it was. Then you wake up, and you're like, "Fuck! I can't believe I failed at this too." You know, so like world-renowned failure at both death and life. Like that's just this guy has a very interesting sense of
Finds
humor.
you, yeah. I know, like, I used to work at a hospital, and, like, there was this woman, I guess this is okay, because you aren't saying who the person was or what hospital or anything like that. And the woman would like, come in, and I ended up on the floor, like, I had to, like, watch her. She was on suicide watch. And I was out in the hallway with, like, these professionals, you know, that knew everything, you know. And they were saying, I remember the woman said, she's never going to kill herself. This is always, it's just an attention grabber. That's all she wants, is just to grab attention. I was young. I was very young. So I thought, oh, well, this is a professional. And the professional's saying that. So I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, well, this lady's just doing this for attention. So I went in, I talked with the lady and stuff like that. You know, within a year, she really ended up ending her own life.
Yeah.
And I thought, I mean, I guess she had made a bunch of attempts before. You can't play with stuff like that.
It's always,
and I'm like, here's this professional
Yeah.
who knew definitively
Yeah.
that, you know, you shouldn't play with somebody's, like, if someone, like, I thought what you said was perfect. If somebody's saying that there's a problem, and then some people say, oh, they're doing that for attention, give them the attention. Figure out get them the help that they need.
It's unbelievable.
So what? So they want attention. Like,
It's unbelievable.
isn't that strange that they're going to that level to get that attention?
Yeah,
Get them help.
It's always these know-it-alls. Oh, they're not gonna do it.
I'm not saying that somebody should pour out their life so somebody can suck the freaking life out
No,
of
but
them.
you're in the fucking field.
Get them the help they need.
Like that's your job.
I know. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
Saying
it's,
something.
no, it's like you're in the field. Like that's your job, and you know and there were people like that. They're you again. You know, like I don't know. It's
I don't
pretty.
know. Wouldn't you be
crazy
glad that the
situation.
person didn't,
Yeah.
you know, that the attempt failed?
I mean, I was not a multiple attempt person. I mean, you know, I had very, very good support at the hospital, and I made it. But there were people that, you know,
Yeah.
but they were very, very lonely people. You know, there was a lot of factors, but it was a very interesting world-renowned failure at death and life. Good Lord. Options exhausted except for anesthesia.
So that's it. Just numb yourself.
Yeah.
Tried everything else. The only thing left is to numb myself.
Well, that's how Michael Jackson died. He had this. He had
I
a
remember
rent a
that.
doctor who would apply. You know, I think it was a local anesthetic. Gave him too much. He ended up dying. And these guys go to school all their lives to be an anesthesiologist. And he bought some bootleg doctor and ended up killing him. You know, but I think I think that there's a lot of metaphorical import to that type of a death. Like, you know, you don't really have the option. Like, if you're gonna exist in the world, you're gonna feel pain. I mean, that's it. And if you angle your entire life around not feeling pain, you're gonna miss a lot of shit. You know, so like you have to. And here the irony of this entire thing is that none of the beautiful music this dude had made would be in the world if he didn't feel pain.
Right.
So the very brilliance of this happens a lot with nihilists. So this is one of the reasons I know that nihilism isn't true. It's because it's always so self-defeating, because these nihilists are like the most brilliant artists and musicians and whatever. So it's like okay,
Yeah.
sure, everything is just black and empty.
Right.
Sure, but you just made one of the most beautiful songs of all time.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, you know that it's one of those things where I always, I was talking to Johan, and I was like, you got to understand what the lesson is. And a lot of times, like, the lesson's like right there in your face, and a lot of people don't realize it. So there's a certain type, in a fallen world, there is a certain type of beauty that can only come through pain. And, was it 95% of the songs that we have listened to have found its genesis in somebody's pain. So if you it's a self-defeating enterprise to try to live your life in some sort of, controlled coma state. Like, you're gonna miss out on a whole bunch of things, and there's a lot of beauty that you can give to the world through your pain if you just channel it properly.
Yep.
So it's like,
Yep.
You know, it is what it is. So I'm not saying like deal with it, you know, suck it up and deal with it. I'm saying like there's a lesson. You got to figure out what the lesson is. You know, obviously as Christians, we're going to interpret the lesson differently.
Yes.
You know, because there's a whole paradigm of suffering in Christianity. Well, you don't have to be a Christian to have a very good, strong paradigm of suffering, but you better have one. And a lot of you got young kids. That's the thing, like when you're growing up in high school and shit, and you listen to this stuff and you're like, yeah, you know, but it's like, okay, well, now God has given you a human being or two. So are you going to tell them this shit?
Right.
To live their life? You better develop a theology or a philosophy on suffering with the quickness. Because the interesting thing is, like, the shit that we'll do to ourselves, we wouldn't want done to our kids.
It's so true.
So we'll say,
my God.
we'll say shit like, oh yeah, I don't need love, and I'm gonna numb myself, and da-da-da, but you don't want that for your kid.
No.
And that's how God tricks us into taking care of ourselves.
By giving us children.
Because he's like, oh yeah, well how about this, you dumb bastard?
Is that the advice you're going to give your child?
The advice you're gonna give to your child?
I know, it's so funny because, well, like, I was talking to Selah the other day and she was saying how mad she is at God, you know, and feels like that God is the reason why bad things happen. And so we were talking about that and then it was a good discussion, but like, I was telling her, like, she's like, I think I even hate God, you know? And I said, you know, you can tell him that. And like, it was cool because like to be able to have that discussion, you know what I mean? And be able to be like, okay, like, give her the advice that like sometimes I don't always give to myself, you know?
I know, I was listening to you. This is some ironic shit.
Oh, so she does know. So yeah, but it was like it was a crazy moment to like, because like I was talking to her, but like, I don't know, I felt like I was like in front of a mirror sending information.
Well, yeah, that's what God does. He's like, all right,
yeah,
you're not gonna love yourself. Here's your kid.
Yep.
Good song. What do you think? What do you think of the song?
Oh, there was like some piano work in there.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so beautiful.
This is some like
loved it.
depressive shit.
Yeah, just really, really well done. And then at the end, when he was saying like, I don't feel anything, like even the way that the music and his voice went, it was like, yep, that's what's happening. Like, captured that perfectly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 9.8.
That's so funny.
What is that? What you're doing?
I had it as a 9.9. What would have given you the 0.2% of percentage points?
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna listen to this song literally right after we get done. That happens to me. Like I'm like right at the gateway of a 10, and then I listen to the song over and over again. And the song grows on me. That's what happened. Like when I listen to Ghost Love Score. See, that's one of the things. That's one of the drawbacks of like having a channel where you're listening to the song for the first time.
Oh yeah, I know.
You know, it's like.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna listen to this over and over again. It's probably gonna get increased to a 9. But
You're already at a 9. You're at a 9.8, right?
I mean
and
a 10.
9.9.
Sorry,
I
right
know.
now it's a 9.9.
I don't know what would have made it a 10 for me. I really
don't
thought
know.
it was great.
That's a 10. What am I doing?
You know what? I think you're probably right.
This is dumb.
Because I don't have a reason for why it's not. I can tell you why I'm hesitating. Because it's the whole thing is like, it's very now I could be completely wrong, but I feel like it kind of captures those I think they were like, people would call them like emo type people. Like they
Well, they were like goth. Like I think emo and goth are different.
Okay, I didn't go to a public school. So.
Goth is more like very, very dark, quiet, like you know. Whereas emo is very out with it. They're emotional. Goths are very dark and reserved and not very like.
Okay, yeah, then the goths, I guess. And so like it's a juvenile bracket to be in, because in my mind it's mostly for people in high school. And so I think that I feel weird to give a 10 to it.
Goths are like high school?
No, like that meant, I'm telling you my complete stereotype here, and you're judging me according to your stereotype.
What do you mean stereotype?
Okay, I'm just saying.
You don't even know those people.
That's why it has to be a stereotype.
I knew those people.
I didn't know. I'm just saying from just, maybe a movie here or there, or seeing them walk by when I was picking up my boyfriend from high school or what. I don't know. Like, yeah, I guess it would be like, so I'm just saying, like, it just seems like a high school box, and so then I feel like a 10 is a very mature number. And so I have a hard time giving a mature number
to
an immature.
So strange.
That's what it is, which doesn't make any sense.
You're right.
So I'm gonna give it a 10.
I'm completely
I know you're judging
you
me.
right
Don't you judge me every day? Is there
No.
ever a day where you don't judge me?
No, but I am definitely judging you now. You haven't even met any goths. See, my complaint with the goths is that they never talk to me. They'd be like, yo, what's up? Hey, black nail polish, me too. I think I was too, like, extra for them.
Yeah,
I think that's too extroverted.
That's too much.
And in reality, I'm an introvert, but when I'm in public, I act extroverted
You would
for whatever
never
reason.
know.
So that's why I stay up so late. I get peace and quiet. But you're ridiculous. Goth is not like a high school attitude. Emo is for sure.
At all.
And that's why it dies. Like, emo's not... You're not going to have emo people in 20 years, but you will have goths in 20 years.
Yeah.
It's a completely different, like, subculture.
10.
Lindsay and Zen are goths,
Now you
know
guys
that?
can.
So when we go see Lindsay and Zen, we can go tell them that. Are you still in the 11th grade?
Are you still that immature face?
Yeah, are you still immature, Mr. Zen? Been out.
Sorry, out.
Gone. He'll probably get away with it because you're you.
That's gonna no. It's gonna
You
go in the
always get
box
it.
when I said about Alex tattoos.
Yeah.
Every time